Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm going to share my screen with you. I think. Okay, we are all literacy teachers. Why is this important? Well, we want our students to be successful, and if they're going to be successful in their careers, which they come to us to help shape, then they have to be able to talk about it and write about it, and that's literacy. So if you're teaching a content, if you're teaching something, then you're teaching somebody also how to be literate in it, or else it just doesn't matter. So how to make someone literate? I'm just going to give you something basic because it's going to get chaotic really fast, and I just want to give everybody this before the year gets going. Um, so please focus on language in your classes. Do it right away. Focus on a word or a phrase of the day. That's how we got to expose them to the material, is just by having them use it. We can say it and say it and say it, but until they start saying it, it doesn't really matter. So consider having a word of the day starting Thursday. I don't want to just like repeat everything that's like on the screen right now, of course. So no, you're not an English teacher, perhaps, or perhaps you are, but if you're not, and you're not a reading specialist, there still are some things you can do to promote language in class. First things first, identify a vocabulary right away. Make that a priority. Consider the need to know keywords and phrases. Make sure the students can correctly use it right from the start. Don't say caliber when you mean caliper. Make sure that students hear the nuances of the word. Make sure you're pronouncing it correctly, right? Break down the word into its syllables if you can. But at the very least, break down the word. Make sure you say it and make sure the students can say it, and then elaborate on it. I shared something that I call the cruising clipboard with you in this presentation. This is what a cruising clipboard looks like. Some of you have already heard this term, but it just bears mentioning again. So I have one of these on a clipboard every day, and then it's the roster. You know, I pre-print those out, just with their names going down the left side, and then the rubric can be basically anything you want, but here's one where, you know, the first one is THS related stuff: take responsibility, have respect, strive for excellence. Then, were you able to talk to me using correct vocabulary today? 3 points. Were you able to use the vocabulary successfully in 4 to 5 written sentences? Whoa, that one's proving to be really tough, seeing if you can use the language in writing right away. Were you able to talk to other students correctly using the vocabulary? Were you able to successfully explain a topic using the vocabulary and overall made progress towards your individual goal? Were you able to do that? So this is the cruising clipboard. It's the rubric I use when I catch students using the vocabulary and then reward them for doing it. Okay. So that's my basic suggestions right away is ownership. Ownership right away, using the language right away, use the cruising clipboard. But at the very least, going into the first couple of weeks, identify vocabulary that you want the kids to know. Actually, maybe more than 10 words. I'm going to leave that up to you for the time being. All right, so some data. I just want to show you a quick snapshot of ninth grade. Those of you interesting, of the people who are joining us. 53 of them, we're going to call them bubble kids. It's 23% or so, I think. Look at the data. Look at that chart. And just tell me what you see. Just for your information, know that the red is you're at high risk for some kind of need. reading intervention of some kind. This color is moderate need, light blue, low risk, meeting goals, darker blue, exceeding goals, no risk. Risk, meaning at risk of what? At risk of having reading difficulties of some kind. This student is so close. This is overtime since fall, what, 22? So close. With a Lexile at 630. That was the last time it was measured, their Lexile. That's a student's vocabulary reading ability. Lexile is one possible way of measuring it. That's fourth grade at best. And yet so close to being in that low risk category on a normed reading test on the FastBridge. So they need a little push. Who's going to give them that push? Some bubble students look like this with a 915 Lexile. That's not much better than 7th grade, if that, reading level. Look at where this student is going, though. Look at how they've improved from high risk over time, creeping up to, again, so close to getting out of the orange and red. So my closing message for now is, if you can talk it, write it, explain it to you, to classmates, to others, if you can organize it, evaluate, if you can teach it, then they own it and they love it. And when they own it, when they love it, unstoppable. So that's my message for this lovely Monday. See you later. Thanks for watching.